What is up, guys? We have another how-to slash the easiest way to do this, but we are putting a winch on a trailer. I have done a couple of winch installs on different things, four-wheelers, truck grill guard that I made. Done it a few times, and every time I've done it, I've had to be quick and try and get it done, and I wasn't able to film. So I had the opportunity to mount this winch on this trailer, so now I'm finally going to make a video of this. Ooh, it's bright. Especially with trailers, depending on your trailer, you can do this a bunch of different ways. So this one is probably the easiest way to do this. And what we're doing is just it's going to be a regular plate with some holes in it that I need to drill, and then we're just going to bolt it to the trailer bottom. So real easy way to do this. And like I said, depending on your trailer, you might have to do something different. But what's going on is these two bolts are coming out, and I'm going to have a plate that comes to about here and then extends out to wherever I need it to mount the winch on here. So those two holes are already there. And then we're going to have 4 holes to mount the winch that's going to go all the way through the boards. And then we're going to have a plate on the bottom of each of those spots for it to bolt down to. And then that's pretty much it for that. Then we're going to end up drilling a hole in here for the wiring, and that battery is going to go in here for the power source. So that is what we're doing to the trailer. And come in here. This is the winch we're using. It's a Badland 12,000. Sketch I need for the plate, the holes. This is the plate we're going to use. It's 10 by 16. Got to drill 6 holes in here. And then this is a little bit different than the other one I had, so I had to change my idea. But we're going to use angle that I'm going to weld on that plate and have a hole in the angle for that the roller to mount to, and it's just going to be like this. So they're going to be welded on like this and just a hole in there. And I'm going to have to do something with that angle, and probably a piece of all thread or something to mount to the floor of the toolbox to secure the battery in some way. I'll hit that when I get to it, because I had planned on doing something different, and when the battery got here, I wasn't able to do that. So we're going to have to do something different with that. So we are going to drill the 6 holes in here. I've already got the piece of angle cut. Got to drill a hole in each of those. We're going to make sure it fits on the plate. Then we're going to go drill the 4 holes in the floor of the trailer. And that should be done for that. And then we're going to drill the hole in the toolbox and feed the wiring through. Set the battery in there, get it all connected and everything, and make sure it works. Then we can work on doing whatever I'm going to do to secure the battery in there. And then once we get to that point, it's completely done, and I can go ahead and take it back apart and probably paint it black and then put it back on. Then it's done. So, got those cut, so let's start drilling holes. Alright, so a little change of plan, but this change of plan is going to work just as fine, and it'll be a lot less work, so it makes this the easy way even easier. So here's what we're going to do. So I've made my plate, mounts in 4 places on the winch, so the winch is mounted to the plate. Then here we've got 2 holes, and they're all along here. We're just using 2 of them. That is a 5/16. So what I'm going to do is take one of my long drills, 1/2 inch, which is the hole size that I did everywhere here, and drill these out 1/2 inch, and then put a long bolt through there and through there with a nut on the back end, and there's steel on the back end that will go all the way through the trailer, and that should be fine. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then these two pieces of angle here still need to drill a hole. They're gonna sit in here somehow like this, and then this is gonna go on the front, and that hole right there is gonna mount to those. So I might have to do a little bit of tweaking to get it to go right, but let's go ahead and get this done. All right, I've got spider webs all over me for some reason. All right, there's the drill. Went ahead and drilled out those two holes. This is tight on the plate, on mounting in 4 different places. Just putting the winch on the plate, and then these two holes go all the way through to those two right there. All right, now all of that is good. Now we're going to see about mounting this using these that I cut, and I'm gonna have to probably cut this in half and then put a hole in here, and probably a tapped hole for the for a bolt to screw in on. So that's pretty much done. Let's go ahead and get that mounted, and then we can start working on electrical. All right, I think I figured out exactly what we were going to do. Let me head over to the saw. Safety first. All right, now these ended up, the piece I ended up using here is 2x2. One of these sides we're going to cut in half, so it's only going to be 1 inch long, and then on the opposite side that we cut, we're going to cut a notch out of here that's a 1/2 inch. So this thing's going to sit in front of, this edge is going to sit in front of the plate that's on there, and this is going to be cut in half so it can go back to where it needs to go. So one of these is going to be sitting on the deck, on the board, and then the other side is actually going to be sitting on the plate. If it works out good, then we can weld it in. Well, before we weld it in place, we can put the hole in here, and I've got to figure out where that needs to go. So we're going to go ahead and get these cut. All right, so we just cut one of these. So let's see if this works. This is gonna sit. Just like that. All right, I think that will work. Now we need to put the tapped hole in here, then take all that off and weld this one and the other one on that plate. All right, so I got these guys done. So let's go ahead and see if they will work. And if they do, then we can go ahead and start welding. And then put it back on here and start the wiring. All right, I usually, almost all the time when I'm working on a project like this, I get a little too carried away and forgot that I'm supposed to be filming a video with this. So I caught myself and stopped. So here's where we are at. Went ahead and got this guy off, which, by the way, weighs a whole lot, especially when you're picking it up and putting it down and taking it off and putting it back on and taking it off again. But this is attached here. These holes are what's mounting it to the trailer. And this guy has to go right here. And here is what I came up with. This is the bolt. So you've got a nut on this side. I'm gonna weld these in place here. These are gonna get welded here, and then this is gonna get welded right along here. So let's get that done. All right, got this winch off of this plate. Now we're going to weld across here and then weld in there some. And then we can mount the winch back on there and put it back on the trailer. In case you're wondering, there's two holes close together. That was a boo-boo. But I'm gonna let it slide. It's okay, you won't see it. So let's get back to welding. Alright, so pretty much finished the bracket, started paint, priming. It's going to be black. That's pretty much done. Now we're going to start working on the wiring. Got instructions, battery, winch, all of the things I need. Gonna wire it up, make sure it does like it's supposed to, and then we're gonna have to figure out, we're gonna put the battery in there and run the lines in there, probably drilling 4 holes for the 4 wires. Got some grommets right there. And then once that's done and working, we just need to figure out how we're gonna make that stay still in there. And then we can put that on here and put it back all together. Then it's done. All right, I got a little bit carried away with myself again, but got the control module, or whatever you call this box here, that is on just about every winch. You've got some cables coming off of it. Usually it's 4, and then you've got 3 mounts here, and you have 2 wires, a positive and a negative, that's going to go to your battery, which I've set in there. So this is wired up. That thing is, I painted that black, so that's drying. While that's drying, we've got 2 cables we need to go in here and attach to the battery. So I'm going to drill 2 holes for what I've got here. It's going to be 9/16, and I've got a grommet on each of these wires here, so it'll be sealed in there. So now we're going to drill 2 holes, get the cables in there, go ahead and mount them to the battery, and then we'll probably go ahead and bring that over here, get all that mounted to it. That's all done, and then we just need to do something about securing the battery. All right, so just finished drilling those 2 holes with that, and it about broke my wrist when it broke through. So now let's move this in place, feed those 2 wires in here. Alrighty, got the holes drilled. That was a big pain in the butt, but I got that done, and the grommets are in, coming through here, and we're ready to connect it to the battery. But before we do that, we are going to go ahead and get this and that mounted on that, secure it all to the trailer, and then it's done. Then we're going to connect the 2 cables to the battery, and the only thing left we have to do is do something to keep that from going all over the place or tipping over or something like that. So let's go ahead and get all of this completely secured to the trailer, hook that up, and then we're going to make a piece for the battery. right, got it all wired up there. Now let's see if it works. Get this thing plugged up. It works. All right, so this thing is completely done, all mounted, wired up. Now the only thing we've got left to do is to do something about keeping this battery where it needs to be. And what I'm gonna do is take a piece of angle like this, gonna put a hole in it here for a 1/2 inch bolt. It's gonna sit right up against that so this battery can't go anywhere, and we're gonna put a bolt through mounting that piece of angle to the bottom of this box, so that'll secure that. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so what I did is I just sat that where it needed to go and took a silver paint pen and filled in the hole. That's just like coming off a little bit. The round there is the hole, so I'm just gonna drill that with that 1/2 inch drill. I think that looks pretty good. All right, got that hole drilled and that is in there. So now the battery can't move back and forth, and you don't have to undo anything. You just pick this thing right up. So now all that's left is to just take this back out, get this bolt out. And now we're just gonna deburr this, because I haven't done that yet, and paint this black and put that in there, and this whole job is done. So be sure to let me know if you've done something like this before, or if you're looking at getting ready to do something like this. Hopefully this helped at least a little bit. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you found this enjoyable or helpful in any way, be sure to smash that like button and be sure to get subscribed, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.